All right, time for another little update. This should be relatively quick. Um, so we have been working on some tuning, trying to get the idling and kind of some revving and throttle control under control, and also the idle hang, which was the original issue from a couple years ago that we were working on before we had the issue and it quit when it was down for the couple years or the year and a half. So just kind of working on that throttle hang, basically, as it comes down off an RPM. I did have an issue the other week that the tires weren't moving, and when I would put it in gear and try to check out the gearing and run it through the gears a little bit, kind of sitting on the quick jacks, the car would die. So it was like the wheels were froze up, and I got out, and you couldn't even move them at all, in even in neutral or the clutch pushed in. So I thought maybe there's something wrong with the transmission or the clutch wasn't right. But come to find out that with it up, basically, let me back up a step. With the issues we had with the wide body kit on the rear that I had mentioned, a while back, but just kind of catch everybody up, that it was basically out. The wheel was kind of sticking outwards, kind of just in line with this a little bit here, so that whenever you would hit a bump, because of the wide body kit extending down, whenever you would hit a bump, it would rub on the tire, and it was basically kind of cutting the tire. Both sides, this side a little bit more so than the other one, as this side, was when he made it too long, so it's 5/8 of an inch longer on this side than the other side. So this one was really cutting on it, and so I ended up having the wheels pulled in a little bit, basically having the offset fixed. So now they are tight, pretty much tight up against the inside wheel well. And with it on the ground at ride height, that was fine, but with it up in the air so that the axle's hanging, turns out that part of the bracing, or the little brace piece for the bump stop in the rear, was sticking out, so that when it was hanging down, the inside of the rim was actually on that, and that's what was causing it to get stuck. And basically it cut, or it didn't cut, but basically put a kind of a little bit of a groove in the inside of the rim of the wheel. It kind of scratched it a little bit. And so once I figured that out, originally I was going to cut it out, but then once I realized it was part of the bump stop, decided, maybe that's not a good idea. So I just kind of heated it up pretty good on both sides, and then just beat it pretty good, because it wasn't touching by much, just barely. So I heated it up and then beat on it a little bit and kind of beat it back just a little bit. So now the tires spin, without any issues there. So that is good as far as that goes. So hopefully we shouldn't have any more issues with that, since it is kind of tight in there. Otherwise, like I said, been working on the tune. A friend of mine with the body shop came over this week, and we were talking about what to do with the fenders, to fix the wide body kit in the front. And he basically said, when he got looking into it, that the gentleman that did it, he put a 2-inch piece in here. So it should have been just like the rear. It should have been sticking out, basically 2 inches in essence. But with the way he did it, even though it was a 2-inch extension he put in, it was only 5/8 of an inch wider than a factory than the factory setup, which doesn't make any sense. And he goes, the angle was all wrong, and he also said that he used a lot of Bondo in it, and so he goes, it's not good. He goes, it would end up costing you more in the long run to have me try to fix what is there. And so he ended up buying just 2 new repop aftermarket fenders from a place that he uses all the time. He goes, they're steel, they'll fit. He goes, you won't have any issues with fitment or anything like that. But he said that it's much easier to do that and basically to kind of start over than it would be to try to fix what was there. So he's going to do that. He's going to come over this week, and he's got them cut out, and we basically just going to hang him on there, check the wheel alignment and everything, and then we're going to tack weld him on so he can kind of start working on it. But he wanted to make sure he got the measurements and everything right. So it's delaying things, unfortunately, but since he hasn't cut the original ones, on the upside is that I'm going to put the original ones back on, even though they're not right. If it takes him a little bit to get it done, at least I can potentially, be driving it a little bit while he's working on it and getting that done. And also for the 30 days after he paints it, that it needs to cure before we can put before he can, the other gentleman, Carlos, can put the PPF on it, since I'm gonna have the whole car PPF'd with that clear self-healing PPF to protect it from rock chips and stuff like that. So kind of a mess, still dealing with stuff from the messed up wide body kit that I paid the gentleman a lot of money to do, and it's just not right, and I'm still fighting with issues with that. But hopefully we're gonna get it right. He did find me a place that has hopefully the right headlight, so I got that ordered and that should be in. So yeah, so just kind of looking at trying to get the tune right, trying to get this fixed right. He's got the hood done, so that can be sent over to have it PPF'd. We kind of talked about some ideas for the front bumper. If we want to extend the front bumper out, like put a little piece on the front bumper and kind of make it extend out so that it kind of rolls into the wide body kit in front that he's going to do. I think that's kind of what we're thinking about doing. But otherwise, that is about it. Just kind of working on a few odds and ends as we're getting closer to car season, and hopefully we'll be driving. So I said I was going to keep it short. It was actually a couple minutes longer than I thought it was going to be, but that's kind of where we're at. So we'll see next week if I have an update, hopefully more tuning stuff, and we'll see if we have any more news for the front fenders and stuff like that. So I will stop it there, or cut myself off there, and thanks for watching. Bye.